Hello and welcome back in our kitchen. Today we are making the juiciest, most delicious baklava. On the screen, you will see all the necessary ingredients. I will also be listing them in the description box below. We'll begin with the syrup for our baklava, as we'll need it to cool down. In a small saucepan, add the water, the sugar, and the honey. It needs to boil for about 10 minutes until the sugar is well dissolved and it thickens. We'll also add half a lemon that is well washed. It will give our syrup extra depth and flavor, and we'll take it out as soon as the syrup starts boiling. For the stuffing of the baklava, we're going to chop our nuts. I started with the pistachios, and depending on how finely you prefer them, you can chop them by hand or in a food processor. My preference is the food processor. Next, I'm smashing a few pieces of clove using a mortar and pestle. The flower buds are so aromatic, you'll only need 5 to 6 pieces of it. Smash them finely, and we can add them to the pistachios. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar, followed by the cinnamon, and lastly the walnut. Stir them well, and we can begin assembling the baklava. I am using a baking dish that is 13 inches in diameter, and will grease the bottom of it first before layering all the Filo doughs. I also pre-cut my Filo dough to be the same round shape as my dish. The total number of Filo dough sheets I'm using is 18. I'm placing 5 sheets on the bottom, and will lightly spread the butter on each one. After the 5th layer, I'm generously spreading 1/3 of my nut filling, making sure to cover all the edges of my dish. Next, we'll place 4 more Filo dough sheets, all of them lightly buttered. Spread the second third of the nut filling generously. We'll add 4 more Filo dough sheets. Don't forget to butter them all. After that, we'll use up the last third of the filling. To finish our baklava, we'll arrange the last 5 pieces of the Filo dough on top. Again, all of them will be lightly buttered. We'll need to cut the baklava before baking it. I'm cutting it in 8 triangles first, and then we'll start cutting it into smaller pieces from there. Press well so you can get to that bottom layer, and at the same time, if you're using a porcelain dish like me, try not to scratch it so it doesn't get damaged. Next, we'll use the leftover butter to spread on top and make sure that it goes in all the cuts we made. We'll bake it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes until it gets golden brown, just like this. Once it's out of the oven, we'll pour the cooled syrup on top of the hot baklava. Here's the consistency of our syrup. Pour it evenly, especially between the cuts. It's so delicious and super easy to make. Just look at these beautiful layers. It needs to stay in the fridge overnight. It tastes even better after the baklava gets soaked with all the syrup that you see on the bottom right here. Thank you so much for watching. We love you, friends, and hope to see you soon in our kitchen.